So, guess what I'm going to do for you? I am going to show you advanced strategies in the Triple Battle Stadium and the Supreme Vortex. Now, these are very, very good tactics to remember, and some things you need to remember. So, I'm going to first show you tactics in the Supreme Vortex Stadium. So, first what you must remember is to never have an attack type go in around here. Because first of all, what happens is that once you've outgrown it, it will become too complicated. Just make sure that you stay inside this area because your rip speed will be super fast. And what happened at one point with my Storm Pegasus is that it went way too fast and it started doing this. It went on the edge. So that's one of the things you need to remember of the Supreme Vortex Stadium. But another thing you need to know is that this is more of a stamina type because there's no grooves or anything. So, see how that base spins steadily. And then if it comes into another one, it doesn't really do anything. So that's one of the tactics you always want to remember. Now here's the next thing I'm going to teach you. The next strategy you want to always remember is that stamina types never last in this type of core, in the Triple Battle Stadium. They never. Unless it's a super duper high stamina type. So, I am going to show you what happens, and I'm going to tell you what the main point of it is. An attack type would win. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't in a Triple Battle Stadium because, first of all, the curves affect the Beyblade, especially if it has this type of performance tip right here, and it makes it very, very hard to defeat the Bey when it has this type of performance tip. And then, compared to this one, this type of performance tip would have more effect because first of all it would be throwing it around some more because like it's throwing it around until it gets into the pocket or something, because in this Triple Battle Stadium anything could happen. And also, if you think about it, most stamina types sometimes can get beaten down by these, especially because of the corners like this one right here. It just cuts right up against the wall and makes the Bey it bounces against the wall and might even catch it off balance. And now for our last tactic is for this stadium, the Bolt Blast. Now, first of all, what I want to tell you is never launch it like this, or else what will happen is it will go straight forward, especially with an attack type, and go all the way into the pocket. So that's a number one thing you want to always never get yourself into. And then also, never face an attack type against an attack type, because what could happen is that, for an example, with Lightning Eldrago, the limited edition, what could happen at any time is that if you're facing him, and since kind of like what they say is true because of the moment of impact is so strong that it could, even when it's so fast that you couldn't even see it. So the moment of impact makes it so hard that it could go flying into the pocket. And also, if you want to deflect that moment of impact and take it to your advantage, a perfect example would be Twisted Tempo, because it takes it to its advantage, and it kind of, Twisted Tempo is kind of unstoppable because of these things right here. So then it makes it so, and whenever it grabs, it could pull it down, because you can see right here is if as soon as this uppercutting pushes down, it makes that guy, the Twisted Tempo, go down. Now, one more thing you will always want to remember is that attack types don't really survive that well in here. So if you want to keep your speed up, I'd recommend to rip it as strong as you can with a speed gauge launcher, like this one, which can definitely come in handy, especially if you're in a tournament, because first of all, it can give yourself a little info on how you're doing yet so far in the battle, because the launches is kind of what leads to the bay doing whatever it does. And one last thing to remember is that never really try special moves, if you come up with any, and right in a tournament, because that can be very bad, especially if it's if you lose once, then you're out. Because first of all, what might happen is that an idea might come to your mind and you want to try it out, but at the end it doesn't work out and you lose. Like, for example, if you were using a Storm Pegasus and your idea came to mind that you haven't tried, never do it in a tournament. And my last advice is to never underestimate opponents, especially old ones that you face in a tournament who have who have lost by you, because they can gain by a lot in such little time. Like with one of my friends, Eli, what happened is that in the tournament he came in 4th, and then now he's like right on my tail. So, and if you want to go for if you want to look for a nice big stadium, you might want to try out one of these saucer sled, because first of all, they can become very, very useful, especially because if opponents try to use their special moves, it kind of wears it down because there's so much space. And if you want to get to know me, sorry about that, I don't know if you can see me, but my name is Elijah Elijah, and I was the one who did the wedding. I know exactly what love is. And I'm also the creator of Beyblade Ratings.weebly.com. I especially made it for bladers like you who are watching this. And also, please, I am begging you, please go onto the site because I've been waiting for a lot of traffic for a long time. So, I hope you liked this video, and if you like it, then you should go on to Beyblade Ratings. And just one last piece of advice. Never use combinations that you have never tried, ever. Well, this is Beyblade Metal Fusion, Elijah, and we are